What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy DJ. I want to welcome y'all back to another exciting episode of Pure Quality Canines, man. Got all these dogs wild and jumping on top of me right now, but I'm glad they are, y'all, because this is a sense of what's going on and what the topic is about today, y'all. And that's whether I'm a breeder. Really, y'all, I ain't got to prove nothing or explain nothing to anybody, but a lot of people got questions about what am I doing? What am I trying to produce? Am I trying to better the breed? A lot of things, y'all, that a lot of times, truthfully, I choose not to answer. And this is for the simple fact, y'all, I'm not a breeder. I'm gonna be straight up to y'all, right hand to God. I'm not a breeder per se, man. I'm a pet owner, y'all. If you watch YouTube videos, y'all, you can go all across it. You're never gonna see a breeder at no time with this many dogs, y'all. And I got everybody on the yard, y'all, but you're never gonna see them doing this right here. And there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. A lot of people look at these dogs differently. I remember not too long ago, I was watching this one documentary on this one guy. He was overseas, and I can't remember the dogs that he had. They were kind of a herding type dog, y'all. They protected his land and his flock. He had sheep and things of that nature. But during the video, he said that he never pets his dogs, y'all. Said he never pets his dogs. They were well taken care of, y'all, but he said he never pets them. He said the reason he never pets his dog because they're not pets. And that got me to thinking. You know what I mean? He broke down his reason for it. They're working dogs, you know what I mean? Once he started petting them and treating them like family, they're not that anymore. And that's just one way a lot of people look at things, y'all. And that's the reason I look at what I do is the way I do, y'all. I'm not a breeder. I'm just somebody that happens to have a good line of dogs, family dogs, y'all, that I choose to breed. If you don't watch my videos before, man, I done kind of broke it down, my whole origin story when I got Scoop. When I first got Scoop, y'all, because I was working 12-hour shifts, I wanted a dog, something to be at home at night to protect, to look over my family, to give them that heads up in case anything was to ever happen, y'all. Like I told y'all before, man, these dogs are your first line of defense. They're that go-between, you know what I mean? Because they're going to pick up and they're going to sense and they're going to know things before we ever do, y'all, because their senses are that much more heightened than ours. That's why I choose to have dogs, but at the same time, too, I did not start off choosing to breed. Y'all, in a sense, y'all, you know, and people might look at this wrong, but, you know, we're staying in the United States of America. It's a capitalist society, no matter how you want to look at it, you know what I mean? And you're kind of a fool in a way if you live in this society and you're not in some way trying to gain that capital. If you're not, you're just working. You're working for somebody else, you know what I mean? But some form or fashion, if you're not trying to do what your boss is, you know what I mean? And he's supplying you with a paycheck. I say that to say, United States is all about supply and demand. If you got the supply and the supply is short, y'all, there's going to be more demand for it. That first year having Scoop, y'all, there was a huge demand for that boy. Everywhere I went, y'all, everywhere I went, man, sometimes I could walk that boy and 2-3 times a week, man, I'd have people stop me, pull over, in traffic, ask me, what kind of dog he is, you know what I mean? And where can they get one from, y'all? So after a year, and I done told the story before, after a year, y'all, I didn't really go looking for a female per se. I got in contact with the guy that I bought Scoop from, and I was telling him about him, and I was showing him, because like I say, up until that time, he hadn't seen Scoop. Scoop was one, as a matter of fact, Scoop was out of a big litter of 13. When I contacted the owner of Scoop, man, Scoop was the third dog left, another brother and a sister. The other brother was already called for, so it was only Scoop and his sister. So I got Scoop, man, not really thinking, you know, knowing he's a beautiful dog, knowing he's something different I ain't never seen before, but like I say, not into breeding. So after a year, man, when I contacted the original owner of him and let him see him, man, he was just surprised on how good that boy looked, you know, as a breeder himself, you know, he was really telling me, you know, that was one of the better dogs he ever seen. And I went over, you know what I mean, the things I'd been through, the people pulling over, asking about that boy up until that time. So we sat down, man, and we talked over the phone for a while. And I ain't saying he convinced me because I already had it in my mind that I would like to start breeding. But at the same time, too, he gave me a game plan, y'all. And at the same time, too, he gave me Molly, y'all. So if you don't know, Molly and Scoop are not related, but they did came from the same yard, the same breeder. He had put that combination together for me, man. He had told me, in the sense, man, you line Scoop with this girl right here, you're going to produce some awesome dogs. Y'all, shout out to him, man. Ever since that time, everything they didn't produce, y'all. This boy right here, Mary J. This is a granddaughter of them. This is another granddaughter, y'all. Awesome dogs, y'all. Awesome dogs that people love, man. But at the end of the day, y'all, they're my family. The reason I'm saying I'm not a breeder in a sense, y'all, because at the end of the day, the only reason I am breeding is because of what I got in Scoop and what he can produce, y'all. If y'all watch my videos, y'all know before I even got the big dogs, y'all, we had 2 Maltese, a male and female. If I wanted to breed, I could have been breeding them, y'all. I've never bred before. No other dogs in my life until I got Scoop. Scoop's the first dog I ever bred. And the subsequent, his dogs after him, like his daughter right here. Like Lucky, I don't know if y'all see him in the frame in the middle. I done bred him because at the same time too, he's producing dogs that are worth breeding. But at the same time too, y'all, I'm not a breeder. These are my family dogs. The thing that separates me from a lot of breeders, when people ask like, what are you going to add to the line, or you know what I mean? Y'all, if it ain't broken, you know what I mean? I ain't really trying to fix it. When there comes a point where I need to add, where people are complaining, where people are not liking, or where I'm not liking what I'm producing, then I might look at going out that way. But as of right now, y'all, just being 4 years in, as far as a breeder, I don't see no reason to really be looking outside my yard and going out of the way and doing too much, y'all, because that's what the biggest thing, y'all. I'm really not trying to do too much, y'all. I do got a lot of dogs, y'all, and I'm going to add more to that, especially as I grow, y'all. But I'm not in no big hurry, man. Reason I came on YouTube, not only to put my dogs out there, y'all, but at the same time too, man, this YouTube journey is part of my legacy too, y'all. It's really bigger than these dogs. A lot of times I done told y'all before, there's going to come a day where I'm not going to be here on this earth. I want some documented proof that I was here, that I was doing something, man. So many people, especially where I'm coming from, brothers, you know what I mean? And all walks of life, y'all, ain't made it to where I am at 46, y'all. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of the man I've become. And I want that documented, man. I want my grandkids, my great grandkids, y'all. I want them to be able to look back one day and look at the type of man that they're, great grandfather was, and the legacy he left, man, and what he was able to do, while he was on this earth, man. So a lot of times, I come on here to show my dogs, but not really as a breeder, y'all. I'm just on here to put myself out there to the world. You know what I mean? And this happened to be the avenue that I take to do it. Before I got into showing my dogs on YouTube, y'all, my channel was kind of wide open, y'all. I was doing car meets because, I'm in the cars. I was working out. I was doing inspirational stuff. But at the same time, I started realizing that, the way the algorithm works, you got to be on one lane, y'all. And I really looked at my life and I was like, okay, what am I going to see myself doing 20 years from now? You know what I mean? I love working out, but at the same time, too, it's up and down. Sometimes I don't feel like getting up, going to the gym. At the same time, too, I love my cars, but I've been in the cars, you know what I mean, since I've been in my teens, y'all. Man, I done spent millions of dollars, man, on cars and modification, things of that nature. And, really, as I got older, I started realizing I wasn't getting nothing out of it. You know what I mean? It was more for, street cred and respect and, you know what I mean? The attention I would get, you know what I mean? And as I got older, I didn't have a need for that no more, y'all. I didn't want that. You know what I mean? So I really started looking at what am I doing in my life? Me being 40 now, that I can see myself still doing at 60, y'all. And that's these dogs, y'all. No matter to the day I die, y'all, I'm going to have a dog in my yard. I'm going to have a dog by my side. So that's why I come to y'all as a dog owner, as a dog page, as a so-called dog breeder, man. But at the end of the day, I'm just showing y'all my dogs, a piece of my life, documented at the same time too, y'all. The fact that I got a dog producing good dogs, that's why I breed him. I remember if y'all go look, y'all, I got another YouTube page with a couple buddies of mine called Canine Talk Podcast, y'all. A lot of times, a lot of questions y'all be wanting to know. If y'all go watch them podcasts, y'all find out, man, because a lot of times I'm open, you know what I mean? A lot more, y'all. I kind of open the Pandora box when I'm on Canine Talk Podcast and kind of bite myself on the tongue, y'all, because sometimes I will say I tell too much, but at the same time, too, a lot of questions and things y'all want to know, I speak on it over there. So if y'all want to know my plans and things of the future, man, a lot of times you'll catch that over here. But a lot of times when I'm back here, I'm not solely on that, y'all. I'm not thinking about the future, y'all. I'm on the here and now because, like I say, y'all, this is what I can see myself doing for the next 60 to the next 20 years, man, because I'm out here every day, y'all. I'm out here every day in it, taking care of these dogs, and it's what I love to do. I don't know, y'all. I'm just kind of reflecting, man. Like I say, I really love this journey that I'm on. Like I say, man, if you look at my videos, man, I'm not even really 4 years in, man, doing what I'm doing, y'all. Along with producing these good dogs, y'all, I can't wait till I hit that 100,000 subscriber mark, y'all. I want that silver plaque to put on my wall, man. Like I say, right now, I'm on the point of my life where I'm trying to make memories, y'all. I'm trying to make memories. And I appreciate y'all being along for them. I really do. I really do. Cause like I say, man, I get a lot of props and, shout out to a lot of people that get into my comments, man, that come back week to week to check the dogs out. Y'all believe me, y'all keep me going, man. I do appreciate the love, y'all. I do appreciate the support. I really do. But like I say, y'all, I'm not here per se as a breeder, man. Just a lover of dogs, you know what I mean? And showing y'all what I do with my dogs and showing y'all what y'all can do too, man. Like I say, like I told y'all that story early on that farmer, how he looked at his dogs, y'all. A lot of people look at their dogs differently. And ain't nothing wrong with that. We all got uses for them, because that's why the Lord put these animals, you know what I mean, in our life, you know what I mean? For us to have dominion over, you know what I mean? For us to do as we can, do as we want, you know what I mean? That's why we keep cattle. That's why we keep pigs. That's why we keep sheep. You know what I mean? Because that's the things we eat. But at the same time, too, y'all, these dogs as animals, man, always been that support, y'all. Always been that protector. Always been that companion. That's what they are, y'all. That's what I'm producing, man. Support animals, protectors, and at the same time, man, real good companions. I'm not gonna get on here and get all into that bite work and having my dog do tricks and things of that nature, man, because all that is a learned, you can teach that with anything. I've seen people now on social media, man, got poodles and French bulldogs doing bite work. Not to say they're going to be able to do it as good as a dog like this or any other bigger breed, but at the same time too, y'all, anything you see somebody doing with these dogs, y'all, best believe you can do it too with your dog, y'all. It just takes training, man. And a lot of times I don't get on all that because that's not what I'm here to do with my dogs. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not here to make circus animals, y'all. I'm just here to have dogs that are companions. You know what I mean? That I control, but at the same time, in a sense, got free will where they can come out the cage, where they can intermingle with each other. They can figure out, who's going to be the alpha. You know what I mean? A lot of things other yards ain't going to be able to do with their dogs. It ain't nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, man, if you're a breeder, and I look at that sometime too, you're in this as a business. You know what I mean? So you can't have your dogs cutting up. You can't have your dogs fighting, you know what I mean? Because that's bad for business. But at the end of the day, man, I show everything, because at the end of the day, this is what really goes on my yard, and I'm not going to hide none of that from y'all. Hey, with that being said, man, Scoop and Molly, y'all, they back there in their cage right now doing their third lockup, y'all. This will probably be the last one. She's been in heat for a few days now, y'all, so she might have another day or two, you know what I mean, that she might not let him mount. After that, she gonna stop it, y'all. So like I say, with this third one, we'll probably skip tomorrow. We'll see if we let her do one more, y'all. And then we're gonna do the countdown, y'all. You know what I mean? At this point right now, we got about 61 days left, man. So mark your calendar. We're gonna have some beautiful pups running on this yard again. Cause y'all know, 5 weeks, I give my puppies a shot, y'all, and they officially hit this yard, man. They get to intermingle with all the other dogs, y'all, and then we really got to see their characters, y'all, come out. Who gonna be what, man? I can't wait for that time, man. I can't wait to share that with y'all too, man. So with that being said, y'all know I don't start with it. I'm always gonna finish with it, cause I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, man. It's a beautiful Saturday. I'm ready to go back in the house, man. Not go back in the house, but my son in here knocked out sleep. I'm gonna wake his butt up, tell him to get out here, man. Enjoy this sun with me, and just chill with the dogs, man. Hope y'all do the same too. You know, one thing I'm a real stickler for, man. Get them dogs off them chain. Get them dogs out the fences, man, and get that one-on-one bond. And you know what I mean? Get that one-on-one with my dogs. Because even though, you know, I done had people tell me, man, you're going to have a problem with them dogs in the past. I'm not, y'all. One thing I don't ever worry about my dogs doing anything to me or ever being an issue, man, because of this right here, y'all. It's because of this, man, because dogs ain't humans, you know what I mean? There's no way you can put your hands on this dog like this and hold him, y'all. And like I say, this boy right here, you know what I mean? I put my hands on him when he was first born, y'all, when he came out his mother. There's just no way, man, if you really showing a dog love, that they'll turn on you, man. The dogs are just not built that way. And at the same time, too, just like any other thing in this world, you know what I mean? You do have things with mental issues, you know what I mean? So long as that dog coming from a good line, that's taken care of and loved, y'all, and ain't had none of them issues in the past, man, you should never have no problem out of your dog. But at the same time, too, it comes with this, y'all. I don't do a lot of training, because at the end of the day, these dogs respect me, y'all. These dogs respect me, man. At the same time, too, we got a schedule. You know what I mean? And one of the easiest way to train a dog, y'all, is doing the same thing over again every day, y'all. Every day. That being said, man, appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna catch y'all next time. We out.
Looking good. Almost done. And there. Done.
What have you done?
I painted the truth. I painted my truth.